Alright. One watching. I can't see the list of people, unfortunately. Okay. Time to get going. I really like this DLC. First I need to load in, and then through chapter select, go to chapter 1.
Well, guys, your girl finally made it to Midgar. You got this, Yuffie. My name is Yuffie, materia hunter and elite special forces operative for the new Wutai government. I have orders to infiltrate Shinra headquarters and steal their ultimate materia. To prove to our common enemy that Wutai is not to be trifled with. Members of Avalanche! With your full support, we got this! So, members of Avalanche, where are you? Come get me already! Okay, if I was a man in a Moogle hat... Huh? Wait, does this mean what I think it does? Interesting. So, I gotta come to you, do I? You got some nerve.
Alright. You can't see this, but the game is now running at 60 frames per second on the PlayStation 5. Which is very nice. So, playing as Yuffie is very, very fun. Right now I have magic up materia, assess, HP up, ice, healing, prayer, and wind, as well as the Ramu summon. A little bit of a spoiler for later, because that wasn't in the original game. I'll explain how she works as I fight. This is kind of a tutorial area. So these are Toxirats. So her normal combo looks like this. It's pretty cool. She can also fight in the air pretty well. If I hold down square, I sort of run away. I get some distance when I finish the combo. Now the main thing she can do, her triangle ability is throw. So you can throw her star, ninja star, and then when you hit square, you're now doing magic damage. Which is very cool. And then you can retrieve the ninja star at any time, or after a while it'll go back to you. You start out the DLC at level 25, but I'm assuming the max is still 50. I'll go into her abilities next. Hello! Hello, Adrian. Senzaria. So this is the Yuffie DLC. There was a little cutscene where she just arrived in Midgar. That's all you really missed. Read the description of the YouTube stream to see why she's here. As I said a little before, that I think Yuffie is very fun to play, and I really like this DLC. Right now she's trying to get in contact with other members of her group that are going to help her to steal the ultimate materia. What I just did there, you can throw the star and hit boxes from far away, which is very cool. She can swing on here. This game is running at 60 frames per second now, which is very cool. Whoa. So, she has a normal combo like this. If you hold square, you do ranged attacks. You can throw the star, and then you can do magic damage. Now, you can specify the actual element of the magic by using the ninjutsu. So see, I can select the element that I want her ninjutsu to be. So I'll select wind. And now, let me heal. This is hard mode after all. So now I'm doing wind damage, which should be effective against this Drake. Yep, see it effective. Another ability she has is Windstorm, which is very powerful, and it is also wind damage. Does a ton of wind damage, even more if they're weak to wind, which most airborne enemies are. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yes, she's very cool. Yuffie, I would say Yuffie's an alright character in the original, but I think this DLC makes her even better. Get some more boxes. The boxes are going to be really useful, because in hard mode, I cannot use items. Items cannot be used. And benches do not restore MP. She seems really strong, but that's probably needed for this hard mode. Yeah, this mode, a good amount of the time you're going to be solo as Yuffie, or you're going to have one other party member. So yes, she is definitely made to be strong because she needs to be strong to pull the weight equivalent of, you know, multiple party members. More of these guys that showed up in the normal campaign. Yeah, I would say there's definitely a learning curve to get used to all her mechanics, but once you do, she's really fun. Maybe even one of the top players.
Anybody home?
Or one of the top characters, party members. Benches shouldn't restore anything but stamina. My immersion is ruined. Well, they don't restore anything in other than health, which is basically stamina. So yeah.
I never cease to amaze myself.
Yeah, a lot. I believe there are 3 weapons for her that you can get. She has a default weapon, and then you can find 2 weapons throughout the DLC. And there's also a DLC weapon called Cactustar, which is meant to resemble the Cactuars of Final Fantasy. So another ability is Art of War. Buffet an enemy with blows, and all subsequent attacks deal increased damage, which is a pretty good ability. Again, these are sort of weaker enemies, but these abilities are still very, very useful. So over here is kind of a secret area. I'm thinking this DLC is going to be 2 or 3 streams. I'm gonna do them back to back, most likely. So up here is purple materia, HP up, which I already have. That's actually the 3rd time I've collected it. This is the 3rd time I'm playing through this section right now.
Yeesh, this town's a total dump. I thought Midgar was supposed to be the marvel of the modern world. Talk about false advertising. City of Mako? City of garbage, more like.
Does the main storyline affect this one at all? It does connect to the main game, and in a sense, it sets up her character. Because she does become involved heavily in a side quest in the original game. That's all I'll really say about that. What you're hearing right now is Descendant of Shinobi, which is pretty much Yuffie's theme, which shows up a lot in the DLC. Also very good music in the DLC. Who would have guessed?
I gotta do something.
I would say this DLC is a pretty good size compared to other DLC I've seen and played.
You'll do the trick. Come on down.
So I can knock that down. Yuffie can slide down. Very cool. So this is the first encounter that's a little bit difficult. I don't know how well I'll do in hard mode. So these enemies, Wayward Wolves, retaliate against any attack, but dodging or guarding against its counterattack will make it susceptible to staggering. So does that mean Yuffie is a descendant of a shinobi? What does that mean? it relates to that doesn't really come into play much in the original game, but essentially, like, she has a history. Her dad is very influential in Wutai. He's basically the emperor of Wutai itself. I don't know if I'd call it a nation. I don't know if it's large enough to be called that, but I don't know, the territory of Wutai. She has a very interesting relationship with her father. So I don't know, the fact of like her being a descendant, inheriting things doesn't really come into play. But maybe it could. Wow, that did a lot of damage. I've learned that blocking is very useful. I made that sound worse than it really is. Oops, I died. She doesn't like him very much. That's really what it means. Probably doesn't talk to him much. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to make it come off that way. Yeah, she's a very, like, hyperactive personality, that kind of relationship, yeah. Yeah, she's 16 years old at this time. So she's actually the youngest party member in the original game. Fun fact. Let's see. So Brumal Form is another ability, which I believe you learn that from a weapon, I'm not sure which one, where you can evade an attack and your ATB will increase. And you can use it while you're airborne. Thanks for the luck, by the way. So if I use Brumal Form, it'll cost ATB, but then I'll get some of it back. A lot of it back, actually. Okay, so that wasn't too bad.
Not even a thank you?
As long as Brumal Form is a really, really good ability. Yeah, I would say a lot of the time in a lot of spin-off material for Final Fantasy VII, she comes off as very annoying. I don't think she's annoying. I really like her in her dialogue and her personality in this DLC. Healing materia. I don't really need to get that. I already have healing materia, but who knows? Maybe I'll sell it, do something with it. What is a Brumal? I am not sure. So, approaching a familiar area. Or at least I hope it is familiar. Okay. I'll heal myself a little bit. Genova? Genova was in the main campaign of this game.
This is too weird.
Oh, by the way,
You got this.
the Genova Convention. So anyway, as I was saying, Yuffie's outfit is based on her outfit in Dirge of Cerberus, which is
Okay.
kind of a
How are
Moogle
exams
outfit.
going?
Although this one is a lot cleaner and nicer looking.
I'll be working for Shinra next. Nice try, Midgar.
NPCs occasionally respond to her wearing the outfit. So like the kids will go, "Ooh, I love Moogles," and then the adults will be saying things like, "She's weird." Yeah, so I'm here. This may look familiar if you've seen the second stream of Remake. But yes, here is Sector 7 again.
Any monster troubles or
There's gonna be a lot of dialogue from people on the streets.
strange since the bombings? Not gonna be good for any of us if Wutai's got their claws in this.
Mako Reactor 5 has been temporarily shut down and all fires have been successfully extinguished. The situation is under control and the people of our fair city need not worry about any additional complications. We are in the process of conducting a full forensic investigation, but we suspect the device used was similar to that employed in the attack on Mako Reactor 1.
Oh, what do we have here? Man, that's gotta be Avalanche. Not bad. Not bad at all. But I can do better.
Yuffie? Yo.
What? There's our palm. So, you're Avalanche?
I'm Jija. Follow me.
Wait up!
Oh, it is Chadley.
So,
Look at
TJ,
that.
Why didn't you come meet me before?
I figured an elite W agent could find their own way.
I may be elite, but it's not like I've ever been to Midgard.
So this area
What
largely
exactly is a W,
looks the same.
Anyone
However,
who
there
lives
is
where
more
you
to
just came
do.
from, think of it as a code name.
Materia over there.
Huh.
Still can't believe they sent a kid to do this job.
This kid could kick your ass!
Saying you're a fresh face is all.
Oh, don't worry. I know exactly what you're saying.
Give me a break, will ya?
And let you walk all
And
over
look at
me?
that.
Well, here we are. Ladies first.
It's Jesse, Biggs, and Wedge.
They'll turn up.
And when they do, we're gonna treat them to a feast. I can almost taste your pizza now, Jesse.
Shame, since you won't be getting any.
What?
Whoa. Yeah, so I don't believe this will restore MP, but it will restore my HP? Yep. Hopefully I won't need to use too much MP in this part of the chapter. I'm hoping, after everything in the main story, it's weird seeing them alive and kicking. So that gives you a little idea of maybe where in the main story this takes place.
These
This
two
is
are really
obviously
bombing.
before the plate falls.
And that's Nayo.
Hi. My name is Yuffie, materia hunter and elite special forces operative for the new Wutai government. I have orders to infiltrate Shinra HQ and steal their ultimate materia. To prove to our common enemy that
I like
Wutai
how
is
she
not to be
repeats her
trifled with.
speech.
Members of Avalanche, with your full support, we got this.
Ready to rumble, huh?
You better believe it. So, did you guys
Quite
meet
the show
Sonon
off.
yet? He was supposed to be here.
Yeah, he got in 3 days ago.
He's out on the town as we speak. Really seems to be enjoying it here.
Oh, he does he?
You, got any bags?
As if. Ninjas always travel light. It's like a rule. But I did bring these. Wutai's famous Dachau beans. Eat up. And here you go.
Can you eat these things?
Yeah, they are an avalanche. I'll explain when the cutscene ends how they relate to the other members of Avalanche.
You ninjas are insane.
Do me a favor, Yuffie, and wait here for Sonon. I gotta head out. Your ID should be ready for pickup by now.
Then why don't I join ya?
Nah, I got this. Besides, you reek of trouble.
Huh?
Alright, so if you remember from the main story, the members of Avalanche that Cloud met amicably separated from the other main branches in Avalanche. There is HQ, which showed up in Chapter 4 in Remake. However, it looks like this group might be separate from HQ. It's really these three people and GGA who walked us into here. They're sort of making an alliance with Wutai's government. This is sort of a secret government mission that Yuffie has been sent on, as well as Sonon, who you'll meet eventually. So these guys here don't really interact with Barrett or Jesse. They may not even... I'm unsure of if they even know about each other. There was never a time the characters washed their clothes.
You must be tired from your trip. Why don't you get some rest?
With all the noise in this city? Freaking possible. How about you tell me where in the Shinra building they're keeping that materia instead? Don't hold out on me now. I know you know.
Actually, I kind of don't. At least, not an exact location. All I know is that Shinra, for most purposes, treats materia as a weapon. Which means the Advanced Weaponry Division probably deals with it. And since that's in the basement...
I see. So, Shinra hides its top secret materia in the basement.
It's like Avalanche's religion with branching varieties but similar goals. Kind of.
Won't have to wait much longer, my precious.
At this point in the story...
Just be careful, will you?
Well, in the original game, there was really just Barrett's Avalanche, but the spin-offs have added, you know, all this other stuff about Avalanche. At one point, HQ made an assassination attempt on the president, and Rufus was actually involved with that. His son, so that's very interesting.
Must be in Walmart.
But yeah, I don't know if I would call it a religion, but yeah, there are a lot of small groups. That's sort of the feeling I'm getting
There's lots of different establishments
from
it's
the story.
Kinda hard to explain.
No, I think I get it. Like bars filled with smoke so thick you can't even see, and drinks so bitter you want to spit them right back out. Where everyone gets drunk and complains about how kids just don't understand the value of hard work. That'll be the death of society. Ugh, how can they not see that they're the ones destroying it? Wutai's got a place like that, where grown-ups drink their lives away. It's called the Happy Turtle.
Interesting. There's a Happy Turtle in Midgar as well.
Huh?
I don't know where exactly, because I've never actually been, but I do see their flyers from time to time.
You do, huh? You're taking down Midgar one citizen at a time. I salute you, Happy Turtle.
Come to think
Yuffie
of it,
seems very passionate.
there's a man who goes around
Yes.
putting up flyers for the bar. People call him Old
Yeah,
Snapper, and he
this is
doesn't
probably
dress
the
like your
best her
average
personality
Midgar.
has ever been
Might be from
in
Wutai.
any Final
I gotta
Fantasy
find him.
VII
Man deserves some
thing.
chow beans.
The Happy Turtle that they were talking about
So the materia I'm looking for is in the Shinra
comes
building,
up in the
right?
original
And
game
where
because
is
you
that
go to
exactly?
Wutai and there is
Ignorance
a Happy
truly is
Turtle. It's
wisdom.
actually called Turtle's
did you just
Paradise, and if you interact with the posters that are all throughout the whole world
But there's a whole other city
and
built on the
you
plate
bring
above us.
them to
Shinra buildings right
the
in the middle. You can't
Turtle's
miss it.
Paradise, you'll get
Oh,
items
that
that will
one.
increase your
Why did
stats.
you say so?
Now, if you want to get topside, you first got to get out of the slums. And for help with that, you should talk to Polk. You know about the VR combat simulation module, right?
Of course I do. Why wouldn't I? It's that thing that stimulates modulation.
Kinda. It's a machine that puts you in a virtual world where you can practice fighting all you want. There's even a portable version of it. Guy around the corner has one.
Uh-huh.
Hardly ever see technology
something
that cutting edge
interesting,
around here. So what do you say? Want to try it?
Yeah, Turtle's
I don't
Paradise.
have time to be playing around with some stimulator.
So,
Just to be polite,
another
I guess
thing,
I'll take it for a spin.
The
is
guy's
that
name
in this
Chadley.
PlayStation
He's over by the
5
neighborhood watch.
version of
You
Remake,
ever feel like some virtual training? I'm sure you'd be
there have
happy
been
to.
some changes in the main campaign. One of them is that they changed the lyrics the choir is singing in the very opening cutscene, which is very strange. And there are other very minor
I
things.
just want to make sure I have the plan down pat. You know.
But I
like
think
how to get
that
up top and all
that difference in the opening music is the
If you
most
had an
significant.
idea, you'd normally just take the train up there. But with all the commotion going on, that's not really an option. Security's on high alert. If you ask me, your best bet is to sit tight and wait for things to settle down some.
Sit tight, but I want to go now.
Be my guest then. Go get killed.
So, we're about to be introduced to a mini game.
Look about ready to die of boredom. Want to play Fort Condor?
Fort Condor. On hard mode, opponents will use modified boards that give them more of an advantage, and victory conditions will also be more difficult to meet. On hard mode, you can only win if you destroy your opponent's headquarters. Sudden death will be limited to 1 minute, and if you do not destroy the headquarters in that time, you will lose the match. The first time you defeat anyone besides Polk, they will award you manuscripts. They give you... those are points to upgrade your weapons. So playing on hard mode, this is going to be difficult.
I should have known.
Yes, I'll look.
So Fort Condor is a reference to Fort Condor in the original game, where you do a sort of a tower defense style of defending Fort Condor against Shinra. And this is like a board game version of it almost. It's kind of rock, paper, scissors like. As you can see, the blue units are strong against the red against green, and green against blue. Now I already have a ton of boards. As you can see, this number 66765758885. Can we play this in real life? No. Maybe at some point. So that first number I just described is the number of units that you can have in your deck. Now, to place down units, you need ATB. So you can see the number in the top left corner of each of the units. That's how many ATB you need to use in order to place them down. Now, you can see this board has 10 maximum ATB that you can have at once. And it also charges at a rate of 3. However, you don't get any magic. If you... Wait, no. Okay, so let's say I wanted to use this. You could look at the materia. So each spell does something different. I am going to try to go with this loadout. Essentially, the bigger the number, the better the unit. I almost have all the units. I'll probably be able to get them at some point during these streams. So most of these units can only attack the ground. The moth unit, this guy, and the shock trooper can attack enemies in the air. It's very important that you can also attack units in the air. I also have this barracks, which will periodically summon in grenadier units. And then after a while, the barracks will be destroyed automatically. Its HP will go down as it summons more units. So that's pretty much the basics of Fort Condor. It looks kind of like Clash Royale, where you have 2 side towers and 1 main tower. Yeah, I don't have any materia, so I'm not going to be casting any magic. some of it can be rather useful, but I like this deck. I find it to be good. Yeah, it does look like Clash Royale. That's kind of what I would compare it to, although I don't think Royale has the rock, paper, scissors element to it. It's a little more complicated. But I kind of like this. It's on the simpler side, easy to grasp, but it can get very difficult. I've heard that these hard mode opponents are very difficult. However, Polk is very easy. He's the easiest person to go against.
Damn, Yuffie, how'd you do
There's, I don't know,
Totally
there's
kicked
several
my ass.
You mean
people you can
didn't lose
fight
on
against.
purpose? Wow.
Well, if you're looking for a challenge, the Undercity's got no shortage of serious players.
I've kind of got better things to do.
Sure about that? Word is, if you beat the Grandmaster, you can win some serious cash. Materia
Condor
too.
coin, what's it for? So you're going to see that it's a currency that I can use to buy other
Whatever.
decks
Bring it on.
or units. However, I've already bought them all.
This talking's giving me a headache. I'm gonna go do some recon.
I won't stop you. Just don't go too far, okay?
Alright, so I will... So there's gonna be a lot of dialogue that I'm just gonna be running by. I would say it's even larger number than in the original. So there's this side quest, the Condor one, and then this Happy Turtle man. I'm going to see as well.
Want to tell me what you're mumbling about?
My apologies. My name is Chadley. Would you be interested in helping me with my research?
I'm Yuffie. Nice to meet you. So, what are you researching?
Combat. It would entail doing battle with a summon in a Very well then.
So there's only one in this DLC, and that's Ramu, a summon in the original game. Now I already have Ramu because I fought him in normal difficulty on my first time through, but I'll at least try this once. Once Sonnen joins the party. So yeah, Jesse, Biggs, and Wedge are no longer here.
Oh, the joy and cheer that awaited the happy turtle.
So the Happy Turtle jingle appears many times in many different musical genres. It's very interesting. Ramu Egyptian? I'm not sure.
Could be yours. Ring any bells?
Nope.
Well then, the Happy Turtles and the rules, and you'll learn.
So I'm gonna skip through this dialogue so I can kind of do this at a reasonable level.
That prize is
this job may keep
And he's talking about Condor coins. So I bought all of these things that are sold out with Condor coins. You win a few every time you beat someone new. Now I have enough to where I got them all. He's forced to be an old snapper. So similar to the original. Now I can go to Sonnen and do the main story, but I want to try to do as much here as I can. So if I go into my inventory and key items, list of flyer clues. So there are 6 flyers in the slums, and you need to find them all and then bring them back to the old snapper. So the first one is some kids hid one somewhere. That is a clue for this area. 100%? Not 100%. There's some really hard stuff. If I really struggle with these Fort Condor opponents, the later ones, I will probably just move on with the story. I'll judge. So that's the first flyer. The second flyer is floating through the air. Trying to remember where to actually reach the area. So over here is Wedge by his house. Oh, he's a rank 5? I didn't know that. They really changed out the hard mode people. I guess all of these guys are rank 5? That's interesting. Normally you would do 3 and then 2 and then you'd fight Wedge and then Chadley. He's the last one. So this is floating in the air. This rendition of the jingle, what does it mean to be rank 5? I'm not sure. I don't know. I guess we'll figure it out. I know that the ranks were different in normal mode. I think you had rank 3, 2, 1, and the lower the number, the higher in rank you are. So yeah. Wait, did I get the second one?
Hey, we should make our own.
I wasn't paying attention. Yep, I did. So the third one is near Old Snapper's friend's apartment building. So, if you've played the main game, you would know that there's only one set of apartments that you visit in mostly Chapter 3, and that is where Cloud and Tifa stay.
Attention! For 3 gil, you can play Fort Condor against the... I'm coming for you, Flyer.
Oh wait, let me talk to this
Got to play cigar
person.
Figured
It's
it'd
Morrow.
spare my tenants the trouble of chasing off nosy men.
So this was an annoying segment to figure out on my first time through. It's essentially a stealth mission. You need to wait and don't let the dog notice you. You only want to move when the dog is resting asleep, essentially. There's one animation where the dog can actually fake go to lie down and is actually just going to shake itself like that, and it'll, you know, kind of patrol or look in your direction. So you want to watch out for that, so you don't get caught in the fake out. And you also don't want to hit that bucket and mop. But the flyer's right here. It seems really simple, but if you don't exactly know what you're doing, it takes a while.
Heard some punks have been hassling the nice people at the Happy Turtle, ripping down their flyers. Are you one of them?
I like this conversation.
Peek at the Merc. Not that I blame
Cloud!
him. Boy's easy on the eyes, I'll give him that much.
She's talking about Cloud.
But cut your losses, honey, unless you like your men silent and emotionally unavailable. Merc's built a wall around himself so damn high, even he can't see over it. He'll never tell you what he's thinking. And that attitude of his. I tried to get through to him, but would he listen? Would he?
I'm really not here for whoever he is.
If you can, Yuffie can destroy machines 5 times her size. She can quiet a dog.
But I'm all good now, thanks.
So, it's interesting that it plays a little jingle every time you collect a flyer as well. AJ, if you're watching the stream after it happened, please message me on some means, mentioning Tyler Blevins. Alright, so, is there a sad turtle? Not that I know of. Number 4, a cat took one on Culvert Street. Before I head there, let me head into this area. So in this area there was a cat you had to find in a side quest. On here, this is kind of some kind of educational story that a teacher is talking to children about, which is pretty cool. More healing materia. But anyway, the next hint is referring to an area this way. Oh yeah, education has to be difficult to come by in a place called the slums. Yes. Did I go the wrong way? Kind of. So this shopkeeper here, the items he sells changes apparently depending on your story progression. So at some point he's going to switch the units he's selling and he's going to sell 2 other units. And those are the last 2 units that I haven't bought. So I'm gonna keep checking to see when his shop changes items. So here you have to find the cat. All the cats you're seeing right now are red herrings. The real cat that has the flyer is right here.
Gotcha. Flyer acquired.
Yeah. To reply to what you said about education, it's kind of weird that they call their home the slums. When people go to their house or living space, they usually say, "I'm going home." But in this game, all the characters say, "Yeah, we're going back to the slums." So that is number 4. Almost done. I will be back in 1 minute. I am back. They're in denial. They don't want to admit they live in the slums. So the next one is on the town bulletin board, which is near the train station. That's Wedge. That's not the entrance. So a lot of the things people... let me backtrack a second. One ongoing thing that has been happening in the main story is that Avalanche Barrett's avalanche is being framed as allies of Wutai. There was a big conflict between Shinra and Wutai that ended years ago. But, oh, and there's Roche from Chapter 4. I like how he's waiting here for Cloud to come out. But anyway, Shinra is trying to push this narrative that Avalanche is allied with Wutai, and Wutai are just some awful people. It's pretty much racism. And as you walk by here, you'll hear a lot of people saying negative things about Wutaians and Wutai as a whole. Pretty not good. So the final one is near the old telegraph factory, which is actually this way. Oh no, racists. Part of me wants to not really blame anyone here who doesn't like Wutai, because that's the narrative being pushed on them by Shinra. This is a metal version of the jingle. Let me see the fastest way that I could get to the flyer. I think it would be something like this.
Think you can take me?
So another ability she has is Banishment, which does a good amount of damage, but the more you use other abilities, Banishment will level up to Banishment 2 and 3, and it will do more damage, which is very cool. So that was just level 1. But if you have a really long fight, like a boss or some difficult enemy, it could be very useful against them. And then the final ability that is unique to Yuffie is Cactuar Caper, which you get from Cackstar. Let the shuriken run around, mowing down all enemies it touches, and I can use it while airborne. I like to do a lot of magic combos, as you will see more as time goes on. Oh yeah, she also has Steel, which on some weapons you can upgrade to the Mug command. Mug, so Steel, you know, you take a turn, you spend ATB to try to steal from the enemy, but Mug is basically the same. However, you also deal damage, which is very cool. What if Banishment just deletes an enemy? So the Terpsichotes are weak to ice, so I'm going to use Ice Ninjutsu, and that should be very effective. Whoa. I was a little too far away for that. And the ninjutsu lasts for a very long time. It wears off after a battle finishes, but I've never had it really go away during a battle.
Can't fault him for trying.
I want to definitely heal. And prepare myself for this, which is probably going to be a little bit of a challenge. Ow. So these enemies can potentially poison Yuffie, which is not very fun. Is Yuffie a materia connoisseur? She is a materia hunter. As she identifies herself in her speeches and in this video's description. Alright. Doing alright so far? Ooh. Did resist. Good.
You're gonna get what's coming to you. Not now! And one to grow on.
Let's see. Banishment 2. Icy Banishment. Staggered.
One to grow on.
And if you hold, you can do that little kind of earthquake move. Alright, I'm happy about that. So there's healing materia. Phoenix down again. I can't use items in hard mode. So now I can return to the old snapper. Is her outfit glued to her? No. You will see her outfit as she appears in the original game at some point during this DLC. I like this. There's like a whole victory fanfare that happens.
Would you look at that?
I'm gonna skip through this because there isn't much
Well, I don't plan on moving from Midgard. Whip you up the finest food
in terms of importance that is in that dialogue, and I want to try to get through this at a good pace. So here's Kyrie, who appeared in the main story, and you can challenge her.
What's super cute? Not his name is, huh? Just saying how much. Sure, I'll put you through your paces. 1 match, 3 gil.
So I'm going to challenge her to a match. She uses mostly red units, so I definitely want to change my loadout to deal with that. So get rid of most of my green units and replace them with blue. I'm happy with this. Red, I don't need as many red either, to be honest. So we'll do that. And hopefully this will work. Wow, strategy. Yeah, there is a good amount of strategy. Again, it's nothing crazy. But yeah. So, I don't know, first helicopter. That'll probably do good. And you do a red unit. Alright. Good so far. If I can keep this up, that would be really cool. Aw, they just used a magic spell to get rid of my moth unit. Still using all red units. I'm gonna place, compared to everything else, that helicopter unit is small. Yes. Not exactly to scale. Okay, there's nothing else being placed by Kyrie. Alright. This is looking good so far. Placing down pretty much exclusively red units, which is good for me, because blue is advantaged against red. Oh, there's a green unit. At long last. So I really hope that this main tower can be taken out shortly, because as you saw in the tutorial, hard mode has new rules. It was pretty easy to win. You didn't have to... It was very lenient on the win conditions. But here, it's a little more difficult. I think I got this, though. As long as nothing crazy happens, I should have this in the bag. And this is sudden death. Now I have a minute to take out their central tower, or whatever you call it. But I did it. And I got some manuscripts. SP, very good.
I cheated and I still lost?
Will be very useful in hard mode.
Talent trumps all. Whatever.
And with a lot of opponents, what changes in sudden death? Sudden death, well, outside of hard mode, it basically means, oh, well, nobody won in the time limit, so now you have 2 minutes left. And whoever knocks out one enemy tower next wins. However, here, it's harder to win because stalemate basically means, or sudden death means, in the time limit, you didn't win, you didn't knock out their main tower, so now you have 1 minute to do it. If you don't do it, you lose.
Yeah, like how to bag that sweet, sweet Fort Condor prize money. It's my ticket out of here.
So you're after the Grandmaster? Sorry to burst.
So here's Johnny. He's very similar to Kyrie in that he mainly uses units of one color,